Hey guys, Alex from the Loadout Room here to talk to you about the one type of gear that can actually help you out of a jam. Gear you have on you. Now there's lots of great pieces of kit out there on the market, and plenty of it works really, really well. But if you don't have it with you when you find yourself in trouble, it doesn't really mean anything. That's where small kits like this 12-in-1 from the Crate Club really come in handy. Our sponsors over at the Crate Club picked 12 different pieces of gear to put inside this small case that you can throw in your backpack or your go bag, keep in the trunk of your car. Hell, you can stash one in the desk of your office. And no matter what type of situation life might throw at you, you'll find something in here that'll help out. In just a minute, we're going to break this kit open and go through each piece of gear under the lights to give you a closer look of what you can expect in these 12-in-1 kits from the Crate Club. Alright, let's pop this 12-in-1 survival kit from the Crate Club open and see what comes inside. Starting with the box itself. It's a reusable box. It looks like it may be pretty water resistant, maybe even waterproof. It's padded inside, kind of like an OtterBox might be. You could probably use this for some stuff if you needed to, but it's probably best left as a housing for all this great gear inside. Pop it open, just like a treasure chest. The first thing you'll find on top is an emergency thermal blanket. Now, having used one of these in a bad situation, I can tell you, you do not want to find yourself in need of an emergency thermal blanket. But man, if you need one, it's great to have one. This is excellent for treating someone who's in shock if they've had a bad injury. Also good just to get you through the night if you find yourself stranded someplace chilly, you know? Next, we've got a Paracord Bracelet, an emergency survival bracelet that it's actually a 5-in-1. It's got a couple of different handy uses here to include this compass, which I actually think is the best part of this. A lot of guys nowadays like to hike using GPS watches, using their cell phones, if you've got good service, and there's nothing wrong with that. Use technology. That's why we invented it. But I'm always nervous about if technology fails. This compass is going to get you out of a jam if you find yourself unable to use the tech you brought with you to find your way home. And that right there is worth its weight in gold. Got a fire starter, got a ruler. Use the ruler as a scraper as well as looks like you've got a little hex tool there that you can use to take care of some nuts and bolts. Now we got a trusty pocket knife. You can see right here you've got a seatbelt cutter or a cord cutter, which is always handy. The blade itself, pretty sturdy. See, no wiggle room there. Now I'm a big knife guy, right, which makes me kind of a nitpicker when it comes to knives. This might not be the best pocket knife that you can find on the market. But as far as a knife that comes in a 12-in-1 kit, I'm really pretty impressed with the quality here. It's sturdy. It seems durable. I'll have to take it out and put it through its paces. But all things considered, this could get you through whatever you need to get through. You don't need it to last you a year. You need it to last you a weekend, right? In a situation like this. Keychain. Can't go wrong with a handy-dandy keychain. Nice and handy here. You can pop your keys on that way. Clip it on and off. It's really useful if you find yourself having to come and go from an office. Not necessarily the most survival-oriented piece of gear, but handy nonetheless. You always, always, always need a flashlight. I carry a flashlight on me all the time. This one's got a clip, which is great, so you can stow it right in your pocket. T-shirt pocket, pants pocket, what have you. You can always use a good flashlight. And if you're relying on the flashlight on your phone, I'll have to do a video about it soon. Trust me. The flashlight on your phone will not cut it in a survival situation. And the classic standby, the Ballistic Pen, right? Now, I know some people who've got mixed feelings about these sorts of things. They think a pen should just be a pen. One mind, any weapon. Something they teach you in the Marine Corps, and this is a perfect example of it. You've got a glass breaker here that can get you out of your vehicle if you find yourself submerged in water or otherwise trapped. You can use the belt cutter on your pocket knife to get you out of a stuck seatbelt, and then use this to break the glass. You can also use this as a devastating weapon. Let me tell you, it may not be a blade, but you can really cause some serious damage with one of these pens in a survival situation. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there that can show you how to fight with a tactical or ballistic pen. I recommend checking it out, but honestly, if you've been in a few scraps yourself, you know how useful a good, sturdy, sharp piece of metal can be, and man, oh man, is that what this is. All right? Now, we've got an emergency handsaw here. Now, if you haven't used one of these before, I can tell you from experience that they are not pleasant to use. They will tear your fingers to pieces if you're not wearing gloves. However, you know, the way that you work this, you unroll it all, you put one finger in each, maybe your thumb if you're prone to that, and then you literally just pull it back and forth on a tree branch or small logs to cut through. It is, I mean, if you'll excuse my language, it's a bitch. It is a tough, tough job. But if you don't have any other means to cut through some wood, you need firewood to survive, this will get you out of a jam. This will get you through the night. I would not rely on using something like this long term. But man, if you find yourself stuck someplace and you don't have a saw, this might be just what you need to get through your problems. And finally here, oh no, we've got 2 pieces of gear left. We've got a whistle. Again, I know that a whistle doesn't seem like the most tactical piece of gear, but here in the United States, it is really easy to get lost in state parks and national parks. This whistle very well could save your life. You're all out of water, you're all out of food, it's been a few days, you know people are looking for you. This whistle right here takes very little energy to blow, as opposed to shouting for help or starting a signal fire. You can keep on puffing on this whistle even when you're barely hanging on. This whistle right here might be the one piece of kit that actually saves your life. And then finally, we've got one of these great multi-tool cards. Now this has got a number of hex sizes, it's got a bottle opener, it's got a ruler, it's got some cord here. You can do a lot of things with one of these great little cards. Now you can pop this card out of your 12-in-1 kit and stick it right in your wallet. This card will fit any spot that you've got, you know, your credit card sitting in currently. And this thing right here will get you out of a whole lot of jams. You know, whether you need a screwdriver, it's got a flathead on here, whether you need a ruler just because you need to know how far some little distance is or what size nut you need to go to the store to buy. And it's always handy to have some hex nuts here on hand. But for me, can't beat a bottle opener. I always need a bottle opener. I never learned how to use that trick where you just use like a counter, like all the other adult men that I know. I always need a bottle opener handy to get my beers cracked. This thing right here will probably get more use than the rest of this kit for me. But this thing right here might also come in handy if you find yourself in a bad spot. So that's it, guys. That's all 12 pieces of gear that come in this Crate Club 12-in-1 kit. I gotta say, again, this might not be your go-to primary bug-out bag kit, but you cannot beat this for something small, handy, and compact you can stick in your glove compartment of your vehicle, throw it in your emergency breakdown box, stick it in a backpack that you just carry around with you during the day. This won't solve every problem there is out there, but let me tell you, if you're ingenuitive enough, if you've got the ingenuity, you can solve just about any problem you run into with one piece or two out of this kit. Very impressed with this setup from the Crate Club.